Accordingly, effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling for life from any association with the Clippers organization or the NBA.
Back at it at the House of Hoops by Foot Locker here on Yonge Street, downtown Toronto with Cabby, Will, Dwayne. Guys, let's get into it. Donald Sterling is an owner in the NBA. I'm not sure for how much longer, as Adam Silver's laid down the fact that he hopes the other 29 owners will vote him out. Now, here's what I want to know. The word about Donald Silver being a racist, Donald Sterling, has been around for a long time. A story comes out today that LeBron James was contemplating playing for the Clippers when he was a free agent before he decided to go to Miami. But he himself personally said that he would never play for a man like Donald Sterling, and that's why he didn't go there. Why did the NBA never act earlier? We know about the lawsuits with the housing discrimination. We know about the lawsuits with the former GM. Why did the NBA not attack this guy earlier before something like this came out?
That's a great question, and it's a question that's been asked to Adam Silver in that press conference, and I'm left shrugging my shoulders as well, because in 2006 he had an out-of-court settlement for the housing discrimination, which at the time was the largest settlement in that litigation in the United States. And then he re-upped in 2009, and then that settlement, which almost $3 million, has become the largest settlement in housing.
And it's a pattern of behavior.
100%. It's a legacy of racism for Donald Sterling, and I'm not sure why the NBA turned a blind eye to what was going on in Los Angeles.
As Silver said, there were settlements, though. He never got convicted. He never got charged. He was never wrong.
But it was like a dirty secret.
It's dirty.
No smoking gun.
I feel kind of part of it, though, is that it never really affected NBA business. Like, this kind of affected, like, don't bring them to my games. It was so public, whatever. The other stuff was kind of, like, under the radar. And it was a big moral issue, but it wasn't enough to really go at him on it. Everyone just knew.
And this is why he didn't get kicked out of the league then, because it was about finance, not emotion. And this was about emotion. So people look at the salacious end of it, and they look at V. Stiviano and the fact that he was cheating on his wife, whatever the case might be. And so the victims end up getting blamed more than Donald Sterling. But the fact is, there's a kind of what I want to call this culture of tolerance within the NBA ownership group that allowed him to do this as a senior owner in the league.
It's an elite group.
For
It's an elite
over 30
club.
years.
It's a small group, though.
And the key to that, the man who works for the owners, the retired Commissioner David Stern.
Wow. Shots fired. Listen, okay. Something I want to take away from this. Miss Staviano, V. Staviano, she was recording the conversation, and from what I gleaned, Donald Sterling knew he was being recorded, and
that's what she. I mean, it's a case of he said, she said.
Yeah.
She said that he was aware because he forgets conversations and he wants to listen to them back.
Maybe he forgot he told her to record it, but that's crazy.
He didn't forget he was a racist, though.
No, he did not forget that. He made that adamantly clear. So the league wants to get him out. News comes out, he may battle this, he may appeal the decision, and this will string out for a long time. So something that's interesting to me is this Clippers team has now been adopted by the United States as America's team. Looking at the play out of the Western Conference, a lot of the top seeds are in trouble. This Clippers team has a great shot at an NBA title, and Donald Sterling will be the recipient of that title. So does that trouble anyone that with the appeal that he could put out, he could still end up winning an NBA title this year?
It is still his team, and then when the owners force him to sell it, he will make a massive profit. I mean, all kinds of celebrities are coming out of the woodwork: Oprah, David Geffen, Puff Daddy, all the
Magic
Johnson,
Floyd
Mayweather.
Yeah.
So he's gonna profit like $1 billion.
He said he will sue whoever the NBA gives the team to.
He spent like a lifetime in court, so he's very familiar with litigation. But I was listening to Lester Munson of ESPN, their illegal analyst. He said that this process is going to happen in 10 days. The owners have to will vote, and all they need is 22 or 23 owners of the 30 to vote him out. And Adam Silver has the
authority. Yeah,
he has the authority, but he has the agreement of all those
exactly.
of those owners. And then within like 3 or 4 months, so by the end of like the summer, by the end of next season, he will be removed as an owner of the.
But he can tie it up.
But see, here's the thing. The commissioner has the last word on everything in the NBA constitution. So from a legal standpoint, he is the law. And when you're in an ownership group like that, a union per se, if the business is hurt by someone in the group, they have the right to put him out of the group, put him out of the union.
And the business did get hurt when teams started pulling money out of the league or
Absolutely.
franchise.
Sponsoring
and that's
everything.
Now, here's something that threw me off. After they said, okay, the news is out, word's out, the players threatened, or at least the report is players threatened to not play an NBA game.
Golden State, the Warriors?
Yeah, the Warriors and the Clippers, but also a couple of other teams said that they made it clear to Adam Silver if the punishment wasn't strong enough, they would not play. Who buys that we were going to miss some NBA playoff games this year? You think that threat was real?
so.
I do. I think
That's a huge deal.
Because the best player in the world, LeBron James, was the first one to step up and say something. It was ironic because the apolitical, I guess he's typically apolitical, Michael Jordan came out after LeBron and said what he said as an owner. But LeBron James to come out and be so strong about it, he has to be out of the league, set a precedent for the rest of the guys in the league. I thought that was a great statement by him.
Yeah, that rumor coming up before the press conference started, that was me like 5 years and $5 million and 1 year suspension, whatever.
Yeah.
If that happened, that's too late. I think the players would have stood up and said something. I really think they would have probably not played games.
And Golden State was there. What I've heard was they were prepared, like at the tip-off,
Yeah,
then
just
leave
walk
the
off the
court.
court, yeah.
And the Clippers were unaware of their intentions. So had again the punitive or the punishment been light, then I think that would have happened. It would have been a great civil rights stand.
But was it stronger than we thought it would be? And I think I was shocked that he said banned for life.
I was
Effective
also
immediately.
shocked.
Effective immediately, yeah.
Hey, props to Adam Silver for that. Now, the other thing I want to talk about simply is if Donald Sterling battles this in litigation and
will.
tries to keep the team, do you think guys just walk away? Because that's the threat right now. Guys will walk away from the Clippers, guys like Blake Griffin. And Adam Silver said he will do whatever these players ask of him. So if he keeps the team, do you see Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre just walking out of LA?
Well, aren't they signed to long-term deals?
Yes,
Yeah,
but that's the whole question here.
But I think it's like the damage has been, or the decision has been made.
Yeah.
So it's like, so even if the Clippers win, they'll be winning in the face of this racist owner. So it'll be like symbolic in that regard. So
But
I don't think that if this
a
case is still in litigation in like September or November, that it will still have the same resonance for these guys playing on the Clippers, because everybody wants him out, and he's just kind of battling. But I don't think he'll be seen as as winning, playing for this owner, because guys play for themselves. They play for the brothers in that locker room, and they play for
fans.
either their coach or the fans.
And you know what? When I buy the team, I'm going to change the name to the Hollywood Knights. And that
Okay.
will be my team.
On that note, can I borrow some money? We will be back with more on the Hangout. We still got to talk about all the playoff series that are happening out west. It's wild out west. We'll be back from the House of Hoops by Foot Locker.